Basses? Come on in! Today we're working on Cielito, Lindo, an amazing traditional Mexican folk song. Let's go over the basics first. Cielito, Lindo is in 3/4 time. That means we're gonna have 3 beats per measure, like this. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. We're also in the key of D major, which means we have 2 sharps, F sharp and C sharp. Just as a reminder, F sharp is 4th finger in 1st position on the D string, and C sharp is 4th finger 1st position on the A string. Now this entire piece is in 1st position, so you never have to leave the comfort of your home. Isn't that convenient? Now that the basics are covered, let's get into some new stuff. Firstly, in this piece, we need a big, full, joyous sound. Our dynamics are mezzo forte at the beginning, and then at measure 41, full forte, back to mezzo forte at 65, and then finally forte again at 73, with some crescendos and decrescendos all in there. So let's make sure to play with the big, full sound. For French bow players, that means using a lot of that arm weight and being really on top of the string, as opposed to way back here with a stiff arm. Keep all the joints bent, keep your wrists relaxed but hanging above the string, and let your arm do the heavy lifting. For German, we're under the bow. So make sure you got your German grip, set the bow on the string, and try to relax as much as you can as you let, once again, your arm and even your back muscles a little bit do more of the work. Now let's talk a little bit more about our left hand. In this piece, because we're in 1st position the whole time, we can keep our fingers hovering above those notes. I keep my thumb in the middle of my hand, but always on the back of the instrument. So at a moment's notice, I can go from an open string to a closed one, without having to jump and find the note from maybe a relaxed position down here or picking my nose, right? I get caught doing that a lot. Secondly, because we're playing open strings, we can use our left hand to mute the strings when we need them to just be quiet. For example, here at measure 2, we play our first note, which is a dotted half note D, 1, 2, 3. And at measure 2, we have a rest. Well, we can use our left hand to stop that open D. This is a really good thing to do when you're playing a lot of open strings because the bass is super resonant. And if you just go D-A, D-A, D-A all day, da 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 da, basically what's going to happen is you're going to introduce muddiness into the entire orchestra as all these different strings just continue to ring the whole time. Moving on, let's talk about our dotted half notes. Yes, there were 3 beats, but we want to articulate the beginning of the note a little stronger than the rest of it so we can feel that first beat more than others. 2, 3, 2, 3. I'm a little more forceful and I just allow the bow to go into the string at the very beginning. Secondly, we want to leave a little tiny gap between each dotted half note, or else they just kind of all run into each other. So instead of playing them full value like this, we're gonna leave a little tiny gap like this. 1, 2, 3. If you're not paying attention, you might miss it, but that little detail really helps to center the orchestra and make sure everybody knows exactly where that beat is. Let's jump ahead to our first challenging measure, measure 16. Now here we have open A followed by open G and closed D string, specifically F sharp. So we need to practice making that big jump from an open A to an open G. Now the way we do that is we set the bow on the string, play it, stop, and set the bow on the next string, ready to play. If we practice in this way really slowly, we're going to be able to get it smooth. Set, play, set, play, set, play, set, play, set, play. Once we practice that slowly, we can speed it up a little bit. Here's measure 16, nice and slow though. 1, 2, 3. Let's talk a little bit more about the quarter notes in our piece. Just like the dotted half notes, they don't need to be super full. we can leave a little bit of space in between. That'll help us accentuate the beat as opposed to letting it become a mushy mess. Let's jump ahead to 24. This is a perfect example of that. We're leading into the next measure, but we need to keep that separation so that we feel the rhythmic drive. As opposed to having the clear articulation and a little bit of space will help give these chord notes the bounce that they need to get the party started. Now, as the basses, we don't usually get the melody, but right here at 38 to 41, it's our lucky day. So let's take a look. Working backwards from 41, we have a crescendo starting at that high G, descending into that open D. So if we're shaping dynamics in measure 40, why don't we just add dynamics to the whole section? Starting at 38, let's follow the shape of the line. We're gonna crescendo from A to D, and we're gonna decrescendo from D back down to A. And then from 40 to D, as we already established, we're gonna crescendo again. Also, because these are more melodic, I think we can make them a little bit longer. We don't need so much gap. Pretend you're singing the notes. La, 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 just like that. 38, 1, 2, 3. Now a little faster, but keeping our dynamics. 1, 2, 3. Nice! Now we've added in some staccato markings at measure 62, 71, and the last two measures. So let's talk a little bit about that. First, at measure 62, we have a staccato marking on an A on the G string. So to play a note staccato, there's two things we can do. One, with our right hand, we can just give it less bow. Instead of, we can just give it a little bite, and that's it. But notice there's still quite a lot of ringing. So the other way to make a note staccato is with your left hand. In this case, we're playing a closed string. So after we play the note, we can just release the tension on the string, but still keep our finger on the string so that it mutes it. Let's go to the bass cam. So notice I can play the string, but if I release my finger just a little bit, it'll stop the sound. Now in the case of measure 71, where we have an open A staccato, we're gonna do the opposite. Instead of releasing the string, we're gonna bring our finger down on the string. So we'll play A and just set our hand down to stop it. You can make the note extremely short, but go for the length of like an eighth note whenever you're playing a staccato quarter note. Just think of the staccato as making it half the value of the note it's on. Now we have some more melodic material at measures 69 through 71. So let's review our notes first. We have open E. First position, first finger is F sharp. Second finger, first position is G. That G is gonna repeat. Open A. First finger, first position on the A string is B. Since we have a crescendo written under the E and we're crescendoing into the staccato A, let's start the E soft and grow, grow, grow until we hit that staccato A. Let's try it out. Measure 69. 1, 2, 3. And now for the big finale. Right here at measure 73, we have forte all the way to the end with our last staccato notes. So once again, we can make these a little bit longer than normal, but still make sure to accent the beginning of the note so we have clear articulation and the rest of the orchestra knows exactly where the beat is. It's especially important in the big finale that everybody is rhythmically on point. Watch out for that A string to G string cross and make sure you're ready for it. Make the last two notes especially loud by giving just a little more motion on the bow. Instead of, try more bow motion, and you will get that bigger sound. Here we go, 73. 1, 2, 3. Not only do we give more bow motion and then stop once we play the note, we also brought down our left hand to make sure it was super staccato. Well, basses, that's basically Cielito Lindo. I really love this piece and I hope you love it too. Happy practicing. Oh, Don't forget to check out the play along video. It's good for you.